Pokemon Legends Arceus is set to release on store shelves January of next year, and Pokemon fans around the world are anxiously waiting to get their hands on the next title in the series. I am one of those fans. Especially considering I feel like Pokemon has gotten kind of stale over the last couple of releases. It's not uncommon to see game companies release new iterations of their game year after year. I mean, we see this all the time with games like Call of Duty and the EA and 2K sports franchises. Oftentimes, we get the same fundamental experience with minute changes that don't do enough to keep these games feeling fresh and innovative. And I feel like Pokemon games fall into a similar category. Don't get me wrong, I have a deep love for these games. Nothing beats the memories of a young me hopping on the school bus, Nintendo DS in hand, excited to show the other kids my sweet new Bellsprout. I'm not kidding either. I have a copy of Heart Gold somewhere with almost an entire box filled with Bellsprout. And I don't have an explanation for that. But none of that changes the fact that it's about time for Pokemon to get a facelift. Yikes. And I believe Pokemon Legends Arceus can be just that. From the trailers alone, we can tell that Game Freak is gearing up to deliver a game that will be straying farther away from the Pokemon formula than any of its predecessors have. Sure, we had Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee remove wild Pokemon battles and change the way we catch Pokemon, and the 7th generation Pokemon games even decided to drop gym leaders for the Island Challenge. Despite the changes these games made, they still felt very similar to any other main series Pokemon game. But something feels different about Pokemon Legends Arceus. This game oozes potential, but will it be polished and complete enough to satisfy most fans? From the very first scene of game footage shown in the trailer, with the game's protagonist high on a hillside overlooking a sprawling landscape. Wait, this is Zelda. It's not hard to see why this game is drawing comparisons to that other niche Nintendo title, but is an open world Pokemon game in the style of Breath of the Wild really what players want? Absolutely. I mean, from the very moment I was let loose to explore the wild area in Generation 8, I've been screaming for an open world Pokemon game. Look, you can even freely move the camera. This feels so wrong, but yet so right. The first trailer introduces all kinds of neat features, many of which are completely new to the series. Overworld Sprites are back, which at this point needs to become a staple in the franchise from here on out. In most Pokemon games, we encounter Pokemon in small patches of grass, just waddling around, waiting to be caught. But look at how Pokemon appear out in the wild in Pokemon Legends Arceus. The different evolutions of the same species all grouped together, it's like they're in some sort of herd. This makes the Pokemon look and feel more authentic. It's like we're actually encountering Pokemon in their natural habitats. This helps us feel like we're truly sharing the game's world with these Pokemon, rather than them just being there for the sake of it. I really hope they give Pokemon unique ways to interact with the environment. In this shot, we can see a Hippowdon and its young standing in thick mud. But imagine how cool it'd be to see these little guys rolling around and playing in it. Adding small details like this will help immerse players into Pokemon like never before. Stealth gameplay seems to be a prominent feature in the game, so we can finally sneak up unnoticed and catch wild Pokemon. Sorry, I play a rogue archer in most RPGs, so it's kind of in my nature. Speaking of catching wild Pokemon, the catching and battling systems seem to be overhauled in such a way that it looks seamless. One moment you're exploring the countryside, and the next you're enslaving a Rhyhorn with what appears to suggest no loading times between the two. But the first trailer wasn't filled with just positives. The art style is questionable at best. But this is early footage of the game, so I can give that a pass. And to be fair, I've seen plenty of people saying they kind of like the aesthetic. But in all seriousness, you can see the textures improving in each new trailer, even if it's ever so slightly. Also, let's take a look at these starter choices. I mean, there's nothing necessarily wrong with them. I like Cyndaquil and Rowlet enough. And Oshawott, well, it's a Pokemon. But if this is supposed to be Game Freak trying to innovate the series, I would have liked some new starter Pokemon, or at the very least, regional variants of these Pokemon. However, I do have a strong gut feeling they're saving that for their final evolutions, but if I'm rocking with the regular old Typhlosion 6 hours into the game, I think that'll be a big missed opportunity for Pokemon Legends to be really special. While we're on the topic of regional variants, the trailers confirm that they are in this game, which is great news. I am a huge fan of regional forms. I actually prefer them to Mega Evolutions, as I feel they're a great way to freshen up old designs while not being over the top about it. Well, usually. As of recording this, we know of 5 regional forms. We have Hisuian Voltorb, Hisuian Braviary, Hisuian Zorua, Hisuian Zoroark, and Hisuian Growlithe, with Hisuian forms of Electrode and Arcanine expected as well. These forms all look excellent in my opinion, which gives me a lot of faith they can knock Hisuian starter designs out of the park if we get them. Joining the new forms are the 3 new evolutions to existing Pokemon. So far we have Wyrdeer, Wyrdeer, whatever, Basculegion, and Cleavor. The evolutions of Stantler, Basculin, and Scyther. Again, same thing, fantastic designs here as well. We also know there is some sort of riding mechanic in the game. We'll call upon the help of Wyrdeer, Basculegion, and Hisuian Braviary to help us traverse the lands of the Hisui region. As of now, it seems we'll likely only be riding these highlighted Pokemon from the trailers, which makes sense seeing as these Pokemon are new to this game, and this would be a great way for Game Freak to prominently feature them. But how cool would it be to traverse the region's environments riding on the back of your favorite Pokemon? On second thought, maybe not. Worth pointing out are the enraged wild Pokemon roaming the overworld, called Alpha Pokemon. Alphas, for the first time in the franchise, have the ability to attack not only Pokemon but their trainers as well. Being randomly mauled by an Ursaring is a new phobia I never knew I needed. I'm not entirely sure how or even if they are related, but one of the recent trailers Pokemon released showcased noble Pokemon, boss-like encounters with what looks like superpowered Pokemon, where the player has to strategically dodge the Pokemon's attacks, all while damaging it with weaponized pouches. I think this is a cool and unique way to add more challenge to Pokemon games besides just harder trainer battles. I am curious how frequently they're going to be showing up in the game. I would love to see several different noble Pokemon, all with unique attack patterns, forcing the player to fight each one differently. It's going to be interesting to see just how fleshed out this mechanic will be on release. The third trailer also contained more massive news. Character customization will be back, and if you ask me, it's looking better than ever. This feature is going to have a varying degree of importance among the fan base, but for me personally, anytime games give me a chance to stand out from other players and be an individual, I am all for it. The last thing I want to touch on lightly is a short trailer announcing regional forms of Zoroark and Zoroark. We've already discussed how amazing these new forms look, but I really want to bring up is how this trailer as a whole showcases that Pokemon is stepping up their game this time around. I mean, look how gorgeous this looks. Leagues above what we're used to seeing from anything Pokemon related, at least visually. This is probably more of a win for their marketing team and the teams behind making their cinematics, but it shows a commitment to making this game stand out from the other main series games. In closing, I'll ask one simple question. Will Pokemon Legends Arceus be the next Breath of the Wild? No. But I think what we're looking at is a game that has potential to usher in a new era of Pokemon games that will progressively push the series forward. I can't definitively say whether this game is going to be good or bad, but I can say as a Pokemon fan, I'm excited for the future. Oh. Yeah, that explains the affinity for Bellsprouts.